DBS community, welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super video here with Kyle Chris, and today I'm bringing you guys kind of a different video. I wanted to do a new series. There's going to be a few of those coming on the channel in the next few weeks, but this one is going to be sort of a guide for players who are going into a new set and they're not really sure what they should be playing, what cards they should be investing in, regardless of the price. And this is what that series is going to be. I'm going to stay away from the term market watch because this is not a typical market watch video. Market watch videos, although great, they focus on just cards that have gone up in price or that have dropped in price, and just saying, hey, you should buy these cards now, you should sell these cards. But I'm going to be making these videos strictly before a set releases. Now, obviously, Battle Evolutions has released everywhere except for the US. But I'm just basing it off of, my region. Can't really base it off of everybody else's regions yet. Maybe in the future, if this happens again, I can release it before it comes out, globally, but we'll try. So the idea is that this video is going to be based on support that's given to the Battle Evolution set. And the idea is basically going to be going over cards that I feel have value going into the next set. Regardless of the price, regardless of rarity, these are just some cards I think you should pick up if you're going to be playing support from Battle Evolution. So if you guys like this series, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Like I said, this is going to be a little different of a different type of, hey, you should buy these cards type of video. I'm going to be giving some insight onto why you should be buying these cards, and just overall, just looking at cards that are strictly supported by the set. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. As I said, give me a thumbs up if you guys like this idea. We'll get into the video. So the main thing here is going to be the split on what support is in this set. Now, obviously, there's reprints, lots of reprints, alternate art reprints, and just some other things, but the core cards that are coming out in this set, I kind of broke it down by the most important ones, or the ones that had more than 3 cards, and kind of went from there. So if you go down this list here, you have the heroine support, which got the most support, including a secret rare. Obviously the secret rare can be played in any deck, but it has some unique support with the secret rare, with heroine. With the heroine, which is going to be 9 cards, followed by Cybermen and the Nappa leader with 6 blue and yellow androids with both 6 as well. World Mat has 5 cards. Goku Lineage has 3. Bardock's crew and Vegeta's Lineage and Mecha Frieza also fall out with 3. And then there's just some random support that has about 12 cards in there as well. And you're looking at this is kind of the breakdown of just what cards just support that archetype or were made for that archetype. Now, I'm basing this list kind of off of everything that's in here. And then there's some cards, obviously, that maybe their set, maybe their support only had 1 or 2 cards, like Universe 3 or Kid-Ku. These are engines that, have cards in here that are supported, but do not have a ton of support, which is why they didn't get it put on my little wheel here. So, we will start with, the first card is going to be Kettlepezzla, Envoy of Justice. So this is a card that is obviously getting support with the Module Mastery Kettlepezzla that's coming out in the set as a 1-drop that can search out any card that's 4 or more in the drop area that is part of the Kettlepezzla set. So you can basically pick up any part of the chain except for the 1-drop, but you can, if you're playing a black leader, you have Power Burst, so you can get it back anyways. And you also can play the chain off of the 1-drop that you play as well. So, but with this card, this is the only one of those cards that is not getting a reprint. Obviously, it had a reprint that was in the event box, or the event packs, which is actually more expensive now. But this card here is sitting under $8. So the average that you would run in a normal Kettlepezzla deck, especially now with being able to, recur one from the drop area, is probably 3. You can play 4 if you want to. I don't think 4 is bad by any means, but I think you can probably get by with 3 and then use that extra slot for one of the Module Masteries or something else like that. Next is going to be some Green Broly support. Green Broly is one of the other archetypes that got very few cards. It's got about 2 cards. And one of them you can actually use as an evolve target for the 6-drop Broly Rampaging Horror, which is a card that's been it's been popular forever since its release, and it's actually spiked back up in price because of the new Broly Ring extra card that came out in set 12. So this card here, it's the normal market price is around $4. It's sitting about $3 here. So if you're going to be playing, and there seems to be quite a few here, after these cards here get sold, it's just going to jump up to about $5. So if you do plan on playing dark or green Broly, this is a card that you're obviously going to want. Being able to play it off of the new, I think it's a 4-drop, is pretty good, because then you play it and then you get to pitch 2 cards from your opponent's hand, and now you have a 30k double strike on board. So very, very powerful card in that archetype. So definitely pick up some of these if you're going to be playing at green Broly. Now the other one is going to be Broly the Ravager here, and I don't believe I have the other Broly on here, but the other Broly is going to be this guy here. So this guy here, Broly Rushing Forth, this actually has initial support with the 1-drop Broly that you can now play. It's another 1-drop Broly, and when it's KO'd, you get to KO a green Broly 4 less. Now I don't know if it works for Broly BR. That I'm not sure about. If it does work for Broly BR, the card's great, because then you can KO this card as well and then go up into the chain. If you can't, I get it. But this is also a card that is this card, as well as any of the cards that came out of that starter deck, are kind of still on the expensive side. This card's sitting about $2. This is for the green Broly chain, which is still a pretty powerful chain. I don't know why people stopped playing it. I think maybe it's because it could be interacted with really easily, but this was also a very, very powerful card here as well. So, and then this was obviously the other Broly that's in there as well. That's part of the starter deck, that you can go from the 4-drop into this, and then you can use this to basically pitch a card from your opponent's hand every single turn. So once per turn, you can do this on your opponent's turn and on your turn. Now we're gonna go into some Nappa support here, and just some Saiyan support. I don't have all of these in order, so sometimes they'll be a little jumped around. This is going to be Nappa's Vegeta's Underling. So this was a shop tournament promo. Not a very popular card. Not a very popular card at all. The reason why this is useful, you can use this since the Nappa leader plays a lot of stuff from the deck and doesn't have a lot of initial draw power. Having a card that you can play on 2 that cannot be KO'd by skills. So you can play so this card's going to come down, and as long as it's not removed from the field by a counterplay. But whenever it comes down, you're able to pitch 1 card from your hand, which is fine, and then you can search top 10 and then grab 2 red or green Vegeta or Raditz cards that are 3 or less. And you also can use this in the Vegeta Lineage deck as well, because the Vegeta Lineage cards are 3 or less, the ones that you really want. The swap engine. So you can basically grab any of those cards as well, and it's Raditz or Vegetas. So you can grab 2 Vegetas or you can grab 2 Raditz. Now the Raditz that you're going to be playing obviously is going to be either the super combo, which is very cool that you can use this to search out 2 super combos, which is nuts. You can use this to search out Vegeta the Cruel. You can use this to search out any, like I said, any of the other Vegeta lineage cards. So this is a card you should definitely pick up. It's under $1. There are tons of offers, and the highest expensive one are foils at $2 a piece. So shipping there, but $4 you're looking at for per foil. So this is pretty good. You can get 2 foils here for $2 a piece. So you can probably foil out, if you get if you want to play set of these, you can probably foil them out for $8. Roughly, maybe a little bit more. But this is a card that people should be looking at if they're going to be playing Saiyan, just because this is a crazy search card. Being able to search out 2 super combos is pretty nuts. So, very good card. You also can search out this card here, which is Raditz, Arrival of the Invader. So, people know right now that the Sun Gohan, Icarus, Blue Yellow Aegis deck is running rampant. Very powerful deck, and it runs a card that is a hit card that becomes a 0 combo cost if you have a blue-yellow card in your energy. Well, this card has the same idea, but it's for red and green. So if you have a red-green multicolor card in your energy, this card's combo cost is reduced in your hand and in the battle area by 1. So this becomes a free blue-green super combo, in a sense. So this allows you to activate your rival cards again, and that's a very, very powerful effect to have. So this card currently is, the market price is sitting a little under $5. You're seeing everything here. Like I said, it's there's only 2 pages worth of listings right now. This is a card that once people start realizing how good a card like this is, it's going to go up in price. You're going to see people who play blue-green launch. I mean, not blue-green launch. Who play red-green launch. I don't know why they're not running this card yet. I know Nappa Super Combo, you're able to play it a lot and do a bunch of stuff, but this gives you another target for a rival. So if you're playing launch, if you're playing, any sort of, King Vegeta list, this is another card that you can add to your disposal. And I would definitely pick up 4 before this card gets sold out, like it used to when it came out, because it was extremely powerful when it came out. Next is going to be some Android support, and the Android support for the Android 13 leader is bonkers. I absolutely love it. But it gives you another card, another Super 13 card, but also gives you the ability to play out the Union Absorb engine for very, very cheap, basically on turn 2. This is one of the cards you can play off of the Android 13, where you can you take a 14 and 15 from your drop area, you put them under this card, and then you play this card from your hand. And this is a 30k double strike that pops a card when it comes into play, and when one of your opponent's battle cards is placed in the area by any of your skills other than this skill, your opponent drops another card from their hand. So one of those effects is if you pop a card in rest mode, let's say you pop a card in rest mode using something. Your leader ability on the Android 13 will trigger, which then puts a battle card or puts a card into the drop area. Then, when a card, this card says when a opponent's battle card is placed in the drop area. So, let's say you remove the skill by, let's say you use the, do I have any over here? I don't. Let's say you use the Rebrian Arrival. It's a very underappreciated rival card, but it pops as something that's 4 or less. So let's say your opponent swings in, they swing in with like a King Piccolo, let's say. Or not King Piccolo, the Piccolo Jr. guy, you know what I'm talking about. They swing in with that, it's a 2-drop. Let's say they do that, you combo, you Arrival out a Rebrand, you pop it. Card's in rest mode. So the card is KO'd, so then your leader ability will trigger. Actually, so what will happen is it'll die. This card will trigger because a battle card was placed in the drop area from any area by one of your skills. Your opponent will drop a card. So then they'll drop 1 card. Then your leader ability will trigger because a battle card was KO'd in rest mode, and then they have to drop another card. If that card is the battle card, this card will trigger again, and it'll make drop another card. So it's a weird version of hand destruction without being extremely broken. Because the old Android 13 leader, you can just play all of the crazy hand destruction cards, and your opponent would have no cards in hand. This at least gives them a chance, but it's a cool interaction that you can do. And this card came out of the Crossworld set. It's a $3.50 SR. 3 pages of listings. This guy's selling a ton of them. Go buy these. I'd say maybe 1 or 2 of them is probably enough. You don't need too many of these cards in the deck. Because you're going to be fitting this card in as well. And this card is actually the better version of this, in my opinion. So it's a successor for green-yellow. You can bottom deck Android cards from your drop area. And then you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, KO it, and then they drop 2 cards. So you can KO a card in rest mode, which triggers your leader ability, which makes him drop a card. And then this card makes him drop 2 cards, so you're making him drop 3. That's a lot. And then you also have a 30k double strike on board as well. So this is another card. This card was sitting around, I want to say $1. I want to say $1 before everything started to kick over. I think it was about $1. And then once all the Android 13 stuff got announced, this card flew up in price. To this, which is a pretty, a $4, a $3, 4 times the amount of what a card was being listed as going up is pretty remarkable. So now this is sitting at a standard SR rate for older SRs. If the yellow deck ends up being very powerful, there's also another yellow Android deck that's coming out in set 14. So in set 13. So there's a lot of Android support coming out, and we don't even have all the SRs for that set yet. So, you know, they may be better than this, but if any of them are 7 drops, and then you can just successor into this guy afterwards, that's gonna be nuts. Something else that I saw down here, we're gonna talk about it here. So one of the other Android cards that you guys will see in a lot of my videos is going to be this new Cell card. All you need is an Android leader. And when you have an Android leader, when this card's played by successor, you get to rip 3 battle cards from your opponent's hand and turn off their leader ability for the turn. Now you have a 30k triple strike on board. That is extremely powerful for 4 energy. With all the cards you're able to play from Android decks, this may not be so good for the Android 13 leader, but it is an option that you can do. So just something to keep in mind. The other one, and I'm going to talk about it now, because I'm going to end up talking about this in a future video. I just saw this, is the buyout of Super 17. So I talked about this card in my Cell Search deck video, which you guys probably should already seen. This card here. This card is nuts. And I went to a local, it was maybe it was last week. And this card here, we were playing, I was play testing my Cell Surge deck, and I played this card down. And the guy I was playing against, he was like, "Oh yeah, that card exists." And then he goes, "Oh my gosh, people forgot that this card exists." And I think people are going to start to realize in the next few sets, when Android starts to become a thing again, when yellow green successor comes amok again, they're going to realize how good this card is. And if you just read what the text says, just critting your opponent down to 4 life, that's insane. Being able to crit them down to 4 life off of almost nothing is insane, for 1. For 2, this card swings and draws you a card, and then you can choose 2 of your opponent's cards and switch them to rest mode. 2 cards. You put 2 cards in rest mode. That's nuts. So you can just choose 2 energy. And if you're playing a yellow leader, this triggers your Bergamo. So then you can play this card, crit them down to 4, swing, tap 2 cards. You can tap a leader, you can tap a unison, you can tap blockers before they have the chance to block. And then you can play out Bergamo and just tap more stuff. And now you have a 30k crit on board that's swinging. It's nuts. So the fact that this card's getting bought out is good. I'm completely okay with this. People already kind of caught on. Absolutely no. I don't know how this guy has 2 different listings on here. Oh, he's listing 1 for 2 different prices. Gotcha. This card's great. I may end up selling one of mine. I think I have 6 or 7 of them. So I may end up selling a few of them just to get some money out of them. But this is a card that you're going to want to buy if you're going to be playing green yellow. This successor card, I have a feeling that successor is going to be coming back in a big way in set 13, just from seeing the yellow androids, and we're getting yellow support in this set for yellow androids, so it's going to be work in the next set as well. So yeah, that's awesome. Next card is going to be Son Goku Adventure Begins and the 4-star ball. These are cards that you should pick up if you are going to be playing. If you're going to be playing Kid-Ku. Every time Kid-Ku support comes out, this card goes up in price. This card goes up to $10. The 4-star ball, same thing. These cards always go up. Right now, the market price is sitting at $7.50. You can get these for a little bit cheaper, and then everything else goes up above that. This card's sitting above its normal market price, so which means this card is trending upwards. So pick these cards up before they get expensive. Honestly, just a full playset of these and a full playset of these. I know you can play more than 4 Dragon Balls in a deck. I mean, you can play up to 7. So if you want to play 7, you can. But just having a full playset of these, this card will always be relevant. It's always relevant in black decks. It's going to always be relevant because Kid-Ku is going to always get support. Until Kid-Ku gets a new leader, which I think eventually they may do another type of black Kid-Ku. I mean, another black Saiyan who plays with skillless. That's a Kid Gohan. I mean, that's a Kid Goku. Maybe it's an Android 8 Kid Goku leader. There may be something like that coming out in the future. Maybe, I don't know for sure. But this card will always be relevant. So just owning a set of it is just going to be great. This here, Android 18. And this card actually has a few different uses. For one, it's an Android, So any of the new blue Android cards, you have the Android 16 leader, you have support for Android 21, and that inherently supports this as well, but also this works in the Heroine deck as well, because it is an Android 18 card. So this card came out of the Draft Box 5, which was one of the most overpriced boxes we've had in a very, very long time. It's a 3-drop draw 2, that's a 20k body, and that's a very good stat line to have. If you see here, normal market price, $2.50. We're sitting about that right now. It's a very good card to have. I'd buy a few of them. I'm thinking about buying some, truthfully, but I just haven't really felt the need to currently, just because I don't play blue, so I don't really need it yet. But for blue yellow, if I'm playing some blue cards, I need them in there. This could be a good card to have. Another Android 18 card is going to be Full of Rage. This card came out of the Android 21 starter deck. So if you can find any of the Android 21 starter decks, you can get one of these cards, I believe, in there. So I think you get 2. I may be wrong about that. I've never found this card to be very good. I just saw that it was I was looking through the support and I thought this card was a little expensive. It's mainly because it's a promo card. Yeah, it's mainly because it's a promo card. So if you can find some of these, pick them up. Foils look like they're about $5-6. This card here will have support, obviously, with the Heroine deck, because most of the Heroine stuff is going to be green. You can play green-blue. You can play the green-blue Android 18 super combo. And then you can play this card as well. And this card allows you to bottom deck a 4 or less on your opponent. I mean, it returns a 4 or less to your opponent's hand, which isn't great. But in certain situations, if your opponent's swinging in with a really big battle card, like a really big attacker, like a Piccolo Jr., for instance, then you can activate main, add this card back to your hand. You can play that for 1 energy, and then add it back to your opponent's hand, and then just counterplay it next turn. So $6. It's pretty. That's a good amount for a promo. There's a good chance this card may go up a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know why it's so expensive. But I saw it was expensive. I figured I'll let you guys know if you guys are going to be playing the Heroine stuff, you guys would need it in there. Next, another card that fits into that same exact deck is going to be the Videl Negate. Same reason why you play it in Balma, because it's a 1-drop blocker. This card is just a 1-drop negate that's a body. That's not a bad card to have. So this card's extremely cheap. You can foil them out if you want to. It's really expensive, but you can just buy a full playset for under $1. So this is definitely a good card to have. We already talked about that card. All right, do that again. Android 21, A Bad Omen. So this card here has been jumping back up in price. I saw this card a few days ago, and it was around $1. I saw some people listing it for about $1. So Android 21, A Bad Omen. Buy this card if you do not have it yet. Buy this card. It came out of the starter deck as well. But every time Androids get support, this card is going to be useful. And foils for them are sitting about $7. That's actually a decent amount. May have to sell my foils. But this card here, it comes into play, basically burns your opponent for a life and puts a battle card in the drop area, so it doesn't KO it, so it gets around KO features. But it puts in the drop area. You also pop an energy as well. But this is a very powerful card for any Android deck. You can put it in there, go for game, or you can use the Super 17 ability where you can play a bunch of stuff out and you can play this card out and just pop damage. Just pop off for damage. Burn damage is the hardest thing to deal with in this game, so having a card that can just burn your opponent is incredibly powerful. They can never go down the 1 because they'll see this card in your energy, and then if they ever tap out, they're screwed. Next is going to be some Goku Lineage support. And this is one of the 5 drops that you can play off of the Pan ability. This is the cheaper one. No one's really looking at this card currently, and they should be. This card can come in. It's just a 27k barrier, but that's a really powerful stat line. So this card sits as a 25k, as if when you're swinging for 25k, it's basically like you're swinging for 30. But just having a barrier. Any card that has barrier is just really, really good. Keeping this on board, and then you can go into your Height of Mastery plays is very, very good as well. Another card is going to be Path to Greatness. This is the OG Height of Mastery, archetype. $10. Card was sitting at $3 a few days ago. You can get the expansion set one, or the expansion pack one, which is, this is the one that I own. This one also was sitting about $3. Very expensive. The buyouts are crazy on this stuff because people are going to want to play Goku Lineage. It's a very popular archetype. So if you already have them, great. If you have more than what you need, I would sell them out to people so they can get them. Same thing with the Height of Mastery. So Height of Mastery here, as you see, this is the expansion deck Height of Mastery, which is sitting at $5, which is quite high. This card was under $1 for a while, as well as Height of Mastery was just in general. If we actually go to Height of Mastery, we can check here, and we'll see that Height of Mastery is sitting at $10 currently. So this is another card that, like I said, this is a card that you are playing in this archetype because you can play it out off of your leader ability. You can play it off of any of the 5 drops. You can play it off of Path of Greatness, as we just saw. Tapping cards, swinging twice for triple strike is very difficult for any deck to deal with, and because you can tap stuff and because it has deflect, you can't interact with it, so it's going to hit the board. It's an 8 drop, so Frieza can't kill it. It's the perfect game ender, and having this and having a new Goku Lineage card in line, this card's going to go up in price. If Goku Lineage wins an event, or if Goku Lineage tops an event, this card will be $20. This card will be $25 easily. So get him now. Obviously, not a lot of people. I mean, no one really knew that there was going to be Goku Lineage support. But people who had that itch, who bought him early, it's awesome. If you want to play it now, it's going to be a little more expensive. So just keep that in mind. This price will go up the better this deck gets. Next is going to be this card here, and I'm going to check something real quick. So this card got bought out. This is another card that's extremely powerful. I think I have Ultimate Life Form somewhere. I have a few of them. So I bought this card when it was $1.20. I bought a full playset. Silly me, I should have bought more of them. That's the first rule of being in the secondary market, is people will buy out cards so when the price goes up they can resell them. That's just something that anyone does when they are trying to make money off of the secondary market. And unfortunately, that's just how card games are, unfortunately. So, but this card here is now $15. This is the main promo that people are playing off of, the pan that comes out in Evolution Booster. And the reason is because this keyword skill gets negated for the turn, but the auto does not. So this card says when you play this card, choose one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it. If it's in rest mode, draw a card. So if it's in rest mode, you get to basically draw a card for free, and then you have a 25k body on board. And it will have double strike eventually. You can't swap into the 8 drop for this, but that's okay. The other target that you pick from Pan can be your swap target, and then this can be a 25k body that you can put on the board to KO something, draw a card, or just KO something, and then next turn use it as a 25k double strike. So you see this is $15. This card will probably not go down for a while. The price of this will probably hang out around this. So just keep that in mind when you're buying this kind of stuff. Always look at promos. That's the biggest thing. When you look at an archetype, if you see prices of an archetype that have not gone up in price in a while, or they've been dropping, buy those promos, get a full play set of them, buy more of them if you want to. So if you want to sell them later, because when they do drop support, and as you see, Bandai is doing a lot of reoccurring support with older sets now. They're trying to get more players back into the game. They're trying to get older players who played back into the game. They're trying to get people to play older sets to just add more versatility to the game. And promos will go up in price. So it's one of the big things. Next is going to be some of the blue Buu set, which there's 2 cards that come out in the new expansion that are focused on blue Majin Buu. And one of those cards allows you to play out a 7 from your energy for 1 energy. I mean, it's a 1 energy, draw 1, and then you can activate main and do some stuff and play this card out. So this is one of those 7 drops here. This is sitting at $4 currently. This was actually sitting at close to $7 before. So this is something that you should buy if you are going to be playing this. You can buy a full playset here for $14, close to. where it would cost you almost double that to buy a playset. So this is a card, if you want to playset of this card, buy it. Buy this card out. Get yourself a full playset, because I think we will see some Buu. I think we'll see some new Majin Buu stuff in the next set or two. Bandai likes to do this, where they will release support for cards in these weird draft box type of sets, which is basically what Evolution Booster is going to be. It's not a draft box per se, because I think they're removing that title for a while, but it is going to be that type of box where the support in the box is going to be just, there's an average support, there's going to be some new archetypes in there, but they have some subliminals in there where it's like, oh, the set only got 2 cards. Why would you want to use these 2 cards? Well, when you buy those cards, and then there's in 1 or 2 sets, when new support comes out, this card will end up jumping up in price. Same thing with the Ultimate Absorption Majin Buu. You want to be cheap, just get the SR. The SPR is sitting up close to $20, I believe. No reason for it, but this is just another target for that as well. Last 2 cards are going to be from Bardock's Crew, which is one of the sets that got a few cards for support. Actually, I got 3 cards here. So you have this is a really expensive Bardock's draft box card. Preferably, if you want to buy a draft box, I think it may be worth more buying a draft box 6, because they're like $80 still. And then if you pull one of these and pull some other stuff, you can sell that stuff and then buy more of these Bardock cards. But this card's really, really good for any Blue Saiyan deck. But the Bardock's Crew support, just good for this card, just gives it some more oomph. Same thing with this. This is going to be one of the draft box units, and this card's been creeping up in price lately. I've been slowly watching this card go up from it's about a $3-4 card now. It's close to almost $8. So this card's going to be getting some more popularity, I'm assuming. The more and more blue Bardock's Crew cards that come out, the better this card will get. And it is not a terrible 2-drop unison, but it's really only there for Bardock's Crew because of the searchability. Last card is going to be the Legends Origin card. This card, I wish I would have held on to it a little bit more. I think I sold mine for $8, $9 a piece, and now this card's sitting at close to $13. This is the new Arrival card that came out on Draft Box 6 that's going to be used in the Bardock's Crew engines. Now, this is now 2 subsets in a row where we have been getting Bardock's Crew support. I have a feeling, and don't quote me on this, but I have a feeling, and actually, I mean, you can quote me on it because I've been pretty right with some stuff. I called the Goku Lineage leader in one of my old videos. But I have a feeling that they will do a reboot Bardock's Crew leader coming up in the next 2 sets. Either that or they make a new Bardock's Crew leader. It's going to happen. I'm just putting it out there. It's going to happen. Which is fine. That's cool. I think that's another archetype with the Goku Lineage that needed to be rebooted. I think it's a leader that people will love to play, and when you reboot old leaders that people like, it brings back that nostalgia feeling when they started playing back, whenever, 2018 or later than that. But bringing back old leaders, and that's why they do this. They make support for those cards, because no one's going to play this deck with that leader is not incredibly good. So if they add a new Bardock's Crew leader, this card is going to go even higher. So definitely a card you should be looking out for. That's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys like these sort of videos. I know it's a little bit longer, and I'll try to, like I said, these videos will only be coming out right before set drops. So maybe once all the cards are announced, maybe a week or so after all of that, I will release a video going over what I think, because I need some time to obviously find the cards that I feel would be good to give you guys information on, and go from there. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Make sure you guys check out all the cards that are on here. And yeah, thank you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.